In the year 1082, the young son of an Abbasid caliph went swimming in Baghdad. He was caught in the roaring currents of the Tigris River, swept away, and quickly presumed dead. Yet the boy survived for 7 days, clinging to life inside a small, dark cavity carved into the riverbank. He avoided starvation purely by chance. Every single morning, a woven basket carrying several loaves of bread floated directly into his hiding place. After a fisherman eventually rescued the boy, a stunned caliph scoured the city to find the mysterious benefactor. The search turned up Hussein, a destitute baker. Hussein had no grand plan. He simply baked a few extra loaves each day and tossed them into the water, hoping they would eventually reach a hungry person downstream. The ruler of an empire possessed immense wealth and unmatched military power, yet none of it could rescue his child. His son's life was spared entirely by the blind, anonymous charity of a complete stranger. This historical event inspired the legendary poet Saadi to coin one of the most famous proverbs in Persian literature: "Do good and cast it into the Tigris. God will repay you even in the desert." For nearly 1,000 years, that line has been treated as a beautiful piece of poetry. It is taught as a moral lesson about selflessness and the belief that good deeds will somehow circle back to you. But reading this story strictly as a moral fable ignores the precise mechanics at play. It raises a startling possibility that this ancient fable describes the same functional architecture we find in the systems theory of today. To see how this works, we have to use the framework of continuity theory. This requires stripping away the poetry and evaluating the baker's actions the exact same way a systems engineer would. When you map out the process, the physical disconnect is extreme. One loaf of bread is baked, tossed into the water, and rapidly drifts out of sight. Once it leaves his hands, the baker loses all feedback. He has zero information about where the bread travels, who retrieves it, or if it simply sinks to the bottom. From a strictly material perspective, the chain of events is completely broken. Every time he throws a loaf into the water, it is an isolated, closed-off incident that immediately disconnects from its creator. Looking at this visual model, we can observe a hidden layer operating right beneath the surface: organizational continuity. The baker is effectively a generator. He is continuously injecting an organizational pattern of kindness directly into a larger network. The Tigris River serves as the transport layer. In systems language, the river is a regulatory continuum. It functions exactly like modern global trade routes, the internet, or our societal institutions, carrying raw inputs away from their source and distributing them across a broad system. The pattern travels blindly through the network, creating a positive systemic ripple. It keeps moving until it collides with a compatible deficiency, like a starving boy trapped in a riverbank, where it instantly restores balance. This defines a central premise of the theory. Physical units are transient, and their physical path is easily broken, but the organizational intent driving them outlives the original objects and continues to function within the network. This dynamic extends far beyond human charity. It mirrors the foundational architecture of the natural world. A single tree releases thousands of disconnected seeds into the wind. The vast majority of these physical seeds quickly die on the forest floor. Yet the overarching organization of the forest itself easily persists. Inside your brain, individual neurons fire in momentary, isolated bursts of electricity. Each physical spark is fleeting, yet the result is a seamless, unbroken human consciousness. We are seeing a consistent pattern. Continuity isn't achieved by individual things lasting forever. It's the result of patterns being repeatedly regenerated through temporary, discontinuous carriers. It is easy to look at our modern world and feel insignificant. A kind word, a shared idea, or a small donation often feels far too microscopic, too isolated in a massive, noisy system to make any real difference. Continuity theory suggests that visibility is not the necessary measure of impact. An act doesn't need to be tracked or witnessed to function within the system. When you release a positive action into the world, you act as a temporary carrier. You inject a constructive, balancing pattern straight into the regulatory continuum of society. So follow the old advice: do good and throw it into the river. You might never see where it lands,
But constructive organization introduced into the network of humanity is never truly lost.